Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda as we get set to roll here for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. This one is going to be a matchup between the Palm Springs Chill and the Oregon Lumberjacks. We are all ready to go here. Pitch one of the ballgame, poured in for a strike to the lead man, Chandler Palias. The starter on the mound for the Jacks, it'll be Michael Bono, the right-hander, with lanky arms, as he throws a one-strike count here to Palias. Swing and a miss on the two-seamer. Running away from the bat of Palias. Palias will get the start in right field. It'll then be A.J. Pollock, Gavin Jones, Bill Pearson, Blake Porter, Xiaopin Ho, Swanji Peng, Kazuya Ohira, and Josh Hines for the Chill. Swing and a miss. Off to a hot start is Michael Bono. Recording the first strikeout of the game, gets Palias swinging on the fastball.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, a quick out number 1. That's how you want to start the game. And great day for baseball. We just got a exciting thriller between the Grizzlies and A's. A walk-off win for the A's, their second win of the campaign here at the California Winter League.
A stellar Game 1, as Andres mentioned there. A lot of action in that game as Bono deals strike one down Main Street to A.J. Pollock, the right-hander. Just a very entertaining game. The A's got out to that early lead in the first with 4 runs, Andres. And then they went silent as the Grizzly came back to tie it in the 7th, but then the A's coming up clutch in the 7th. The first walk-off victory that we've seen here in the California Winter League.
And the A's were off to a hottest start they've had all season. That's been a team that's been struggling. They were 1-4, now they're 2-4. So great game by the A's.
Pollock swinging and missing here. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count for him. Talk about a huge clutch triple for Travius Ford of the A's there.
Absolutely, all the way to center field over the center fielder's head. But let's not forget that the Grizzlies tied it up at the top of the 7th thanks to a Nick Kreutzer 2 RBI double that went down the first baseline and kept rolling all the way to the corner.
A couple of big clutch hits by Kreutzer, and then, as mentioned there, with Travius Ford, as A.J. Pollock, the hitter in this game, goes down swinging, back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Bono, who gets the nod on the hill for the Lumberjacks.
It's a second strikeout. Looking to strike out the side here is Gavin Jones up to plate.
So Gavin Jones will be the hitter, trying to break up the streak of strikeouts for Bono here early on. Real cloudy day today, Andres.
Yeah, it's the first time we've actually even seen. We've seen wisps of clouds, but this is a full sky of clouds. The entire sky is full of them. You can't see any blue skies anywhere, even over the tops of the mountains out there in center field.
In on the hands, this ball is lofted into center field, and there to make the running grab is going to be Killian Bloat for the out. So 3 up, 3 down on a pair of strikeouts, and then the fly out from Michael Bono. A good start for him. We'll go to the home half of the first here in Palm Springs. We go to the bottom of the first here with the Lumberjacks coming to bat. Nothing doing for the Chill in the top half of the first. Still zeros on the board. Michael Bono went 1-2-3, the starter for the Lumberjacks, and also seeing that he touched 93 on the fastball there in the first. Spinning the curveball at 2,500 RPM, so some good numbers for the starter so far early on here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best start. Bono's actually, this is his first start in the Winter League. His best start. His last time out, he got the loss against the A's. Gave up 8 earned runs, 9 of them coming across. That ERA skyrocketed to 21, so a much better outing for Bono here.
So this will be Juan Martinez on the hill for the Chill. He gets the start for them. The Chill come into this ball game with a 3-2 record. The Lumberjacks 2-4. So a couple of teams basically in the middle of the standings. For Martinez, his first game started of the Winter League. He's already appeared in 4 games up to this point in 7 innings of work, allowing 2 earned runs. He has 7 strikeouts. He does have 2 wins on the year, but also a loss. Flat 2.0 ERA. This is Nick Jimbalvo to lead things off for the Lumberjacks. 1-2 count. Swinging and out in front on the breaking ball, and running out of real estate over there is the third baseman, Gavin Jones. It will remain 1-2.
He's surviving here. Gavin Jones, a solid hitter. Apologies, that is Nick Jimbalvo.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Jimbalvo calls time in the box. Not comfortable with the timing and the tempo of Juan Martinez. A little bit of a shift on for Jimbalvo, a partial shift that is, as he hits this ball right into the shift. That's Clifford Pratt out there, and he makes the play on the second base side of things for the first out. So the partial shift works out for the Chill as they work with the advanced metrics of the Winter League and get Jimbalvo on the ground out.
And that was actually O'Hara at shortstop making a great play up the middle. As you mentioned, the shift being on, and that's exactly why. He hits balls up the middle non-stop. Again, he had a 1.1 ERA, but great play by O'Hara right there.
So I had my defense just a little bit mixed up. So yes, that is O'Hara at short as he makes the play. We don't typically see shifting really here in the California Winter League. Obviously, shifting comes with numbers and not huge sample sizes so far in the Winter League, but there they know that Jimbalvo likes to pull the ball, so they shifted over a little bit, and it worked out for them. Swinging and missing, this is Killian Bloat.
Bloat's batting .250. He has 1 strikeout, 1 walk on the year. He's been hit by a pitch. He has a run, RBI, 2 singles, and 8 at-bats.
1 down quickly in the bottom of the first. This ball is lined softly over to the second baseman out there, Xiaopin Ho. Takes care of Killian Bloat, 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, Xiaopin Ho just waiting on that one. It was a little lofty floater there, as it'll be Christian Kazemka coming up next.
Down off the end of the bat for weak contact off the bat of Killian Bloat. So Juan Martinez getting his first start and already looking like he's feeling comfortable out there on the mound. Holds the glove up high as he peeks out over it and goes into the wind and deals. Curveball that is left high and inside to the batter Christian Kazemka, who is going to be the third baseman today for the Lumberjacks.
Christian Kazemka at .583 on average. He's got 6 singles, a double, an RBI, 1 run, reached on an error.
The 1-0 is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Decent showing today so far, Andres, with $2 draft beers on Saturdays.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll get people in the ballpark.
Absolutely. This ball is hit into right center field on the line, sinking and falling in front of Chanier Palias as he goes over to pick it up and gets it into the cut man. So the first base hit of the ball game will go to Christian Kuzemka, who keeps the inning alive for the Lumberjacks.
Kuzemka's going to get that average to go up, and he was entering at 583. That's going to definitely bring him up.
And that'll bring up the cleanup man in Greg Vaughn Jr. Vaughn Jr., one of the better hitters in this winter league. A pretty complete hitter, Andres. Hits for good average, and the power just kind of comes along with it. So far his numbers are slightly underwhelming, but a lot of talent in his bat as he takes ball one, and he's ahead in the count here. Hitting with that burnt finish on the bat. Reminds me of when Evan Longoria used to swing one of those. As Martinez works from the stretch. Pitch on the way. This ball is skied in the air straight back and foul.
Oh! Right next to us.
I'll always remember that Evan Longoria bat. He would do the flame finish on it. Because I always remember when Evan Longoria was a prospect and coming up with the Rays, I always wanted one like that. And actually visited the Louisville Slugger Museum, Andres, and it is something that started with Louisville Slugger.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you've ever been out there, just seeing the burnt bats, thinking about their process of how they make them.
This ball is skied into right. Palias is there, and he handles it easily. So that'll be the third out. We'll get to more discussion on some of the Louisville Slugger bats as we progress along in this game. We'll move to the second. No score here early on in Palm Springs.
The designated hitter, number 33.
We go to the top of the second. Andres Tejeda alongside Mitch Glessner here in the booth. No score so far through one frame as Bill Pearson will dig in. The big right-handed hitter is in the designated hitter role today. Michael Bono working from the stretch as he deals. Fastball in there. Foul ball on the check swing for strike one.
Big Bill Pearson stepping up. He's a massive man. I've been able to talk with him a couple times, stand next to him, and boy, do I feel like a kid.
Yes,
That's
one of
a big man.
one of the, if not the strongest guys in the Winter League. Hitting with an 0-1 count. Big swing and a miss. Bono powers the fastball right by him. Bono kind of touched on, has that real lanky frame. Pretty big arm circle. Good mechanics working out of the stretch as he peeks in for his sign. Quiet with the feet as he comes set, deals, and this pitch is fouled straight back. One thing to notice about Bono in his delivery is that he hides the baseball pretty well, at least from my vantage point and our vantage point here. Comes high over the top. It's a high 3/4 arm slot, but the ball just stays hidden and then explodes with that low 90s velo as it comes out of the hand. Here he goes back to the breaking ball on the 0-2 count. This one misses down and away. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bill Pearson. Bono already has 2 strikeouts. Got both Palias and Pollock swinging in the first. Set and ready to go here. 1-2. Fastball and almost a foul tip into the mitt. But not able to squeeze it back there is Andres Mendoza, who is the catcher today.
I've yet to meet Andres. It'd be nice to meet another Andres.
Something in common. As Pearson awaits a 1-2, Bono deals breaking ball, and Pearson just fighting to stay alive, taps it off the end of the bat straight back. Bono has a pretty standard curveball, but a good break to it, good depth. Good side-to-side action as well as the vertical break. Pearson awaits with the quiet stance. And another 1-2. Swung on and missed. Bono powers the fastball right by the big right-handed hitter for the strikeout. 1 down here in the top of the second.
After a very lengthy at-bat, that was 7 pitches and 1 ball. Pearson was able to foul off 6 of those 7, but gets beat there.
Bono already off to a great start, and so far in this Winter League, he's gotten off to a slow start as far as the previous games are concerned. Coming into this game with 2 2/3 innings of work, but 8 earned runs allowed and 9 walks. Pretty good strikeout numbers for him, so we'll see if he can control the strike zone here today. So far, so good, as he throws strike 2 here to the left-handed hitting Blake Porter.
Blake Porter, number 2 in the league on average, number 2 on the OPS with 150 or 1.538. He also has the most quality at bats, or second most quality at bats with 10, meaning that he's able to work an at bat into his advantage and either get a hit or get on base by walking. And his average, again, 583, just right behind Barnes, who's 615.
Fouled that one straight back. We went to the break talking a little bit about baseball bats, Andres, and mentioning the Louisville Slugger Museum, learning about that flame treatment that Greg Vaughn has on his bat. This ball skipped in low for ball 1. A very cool museum there in Louisville.
Oh, absolutely.
If you ever get the chance to visit Louisville, obviously that is a place that you want to go if you're a baseball fan.
Right off the river, you can't miss the big old bat outside, world's largest baseball bat.
Yes, very cool site. Good aesthetic to the building. What amazes me about that museum is just how small it really is, as this ball is shot foul.
The actual factory itself is on the main floor, and it's not a lot of room. The building is mostly offices upstairs. You got the museum and the factory downstairs, but it's quite small.
It's pretty amazing. They're just pumping out the lumber, and you get to watch them make the bats, go through the whole process of it, but it is funny. You go through the little tour, and before you know it, it's about 15 minutes in, and you're done, and you're like, wait a minute, that's it?
Yeah.
Like, this is like the number 1 baseball bat manufacturer in the world, and you can walk through it relatively quickly. Porter is down looking on strikes. Bono records another strikeout. That's back-to-back strikeouts here in the second. Still scoreless, but Bono off to a hot start.
Now that puts down a dangerous batter. That's Bill Porter. Look at more stats. He's at every single batting leader stat. His slugging percentage is at 1, and he's got 7 runs batted in. That's just behind Kreutzer and Jones of the Grizzly and Chill.
So this will be Xiaopin Ho. The righty digs in with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Michael Bono has already recorded 4 strikeouts as he misses down and away.
Xiaopin Ho coming in with an average of 125, 3 runs, and just 1 lone hit, being a single all the way back on opening day.
This ball misses the zone. The other cool thing, real quick, about that museum too, Andres, is the part where you get to hold one of the bats that a player has used in game.
Oh, absolutely.
And they have somebody from every team, which is very cool. So no matter where you're coming from out of town, there's a player that you'll likely know.
Oh, if you go during the off season after all the awards have been announced, I've been able to go 2 times during the off season. You'll get to see the Silver Slugger Awards that Louisville hands out, and they just have them on display in their little opening area.
This ball is grounded to short on 2 hops. There to make the routine play is Adrian Sanchez. Throws across the diamond to get Xiaopin Ho. So another 1-2-3 inning for Michael Bono, who adds 2 more strikeouts to his box score as we head to the home half of the second here in Palm Springs.
The second baseman, Spencer.
Mitch Glesser alongside Andres Tejeda as we go to the bottom half of the second. No score here and just 1 hit for the home squad. That is the Lumberjacks, who come to bat here with Spencer Kean leading off. Righty on righty against Juan Martinez as he goes into the wind and fires a 1-0 swing and a miss from Kean. I can't help but notice, Andres, that somehow Juan Martinez found himself a vintage chill hat. All of the guys out here are issued their CWL hats, but somehow Juan got a hold of one of the vintage chill ones back when they would do the team hats for every team.
Huh. Think he played here way back when?
Not sure. He pulled some strings somehow.
Are they selling them at the concession stands? I know they have a couple hats of some teams.
Could
The
have been
Blue
that.
Sox, too.
Yeah, could have been that one. This ball misses inside. It's 3-1 to the lead man, Kean.
Yeah, I know Martinez is a huge social media guy. He posts every single outing out on his social media. You know, it's funny that I found him as he walks. Kean, I was going through Instagram and, you know, the For You kind of page that they got there. I was watching some highlights and I heard my voice. And I'm like, what is this? And then I checked it out. It was a game I was calling for the Chill a few days back. And just found him on there. He's got a large following, like 32,000 followers. So he uses social media heavily. So go check him out. I don't know his handle, but just look up Juan Martinez.
He's in a little bit of a jam here to Start at the bottom half of the second with a runner on first after issuing the walk to Kian. This will be Kane Ruiz. Yeah, social media, one of those things, not as prevalent in baseball compared to the counterparts in the major sports in football and basketball. They'll try to throw behind the runner, not in time.
That was a close one. Large lead by Kian, and Hines right behind the plate, just firing one behind him.
An aggressive lead at first. See if Kian tries to swipe second to put himself in scoring position as Martinez comes set. And he's going to step off, and it looked like he had Kian leaning there. So Kian definitely looking to run here in this at-bat.
Yeah, that might have been the smoothest move we've seen from Martinez. It wasn't anything fast, but Kian is taking a large lead at first. Got his first lead, and then you'll see a secondary. You'll see a couple of the tracks like a quarter of the way.
Off speed is inside, taken for a ball, 2 balls and a strike. But yeah, you see guys like professional athletes, in the likes of, somebody like LeBron James has, I don't know how many followers, but a ton.
It's got to be
obviously. This pitch is in there for a strike. But then you look at some of the biggest names in baseball. Somebody like Mike Trout, for instance. Let's just power of the web and how fast we can look things up. Mike Trout, for reference, has 1.9 million followers on Instagram. As Martinez comes set, and here's the pitch, fouled away. And then you compare that to
LeBron James, he's got 110 million.
Right. So you have the best player in baseball, and maybe the greatest player when it's all said and done, when his career is over, maybe the greatest player of all time, and he has 1/100th the followers that LeBron James has. Just to put in perspective. Kane Ruiz, the hitter, 2-2 count. Pitch on the way as the runner starts. Flied into right field. Chandler Palias moving towards the line, grabs it right around the line, and he makes the play. As Kian was running on the pitch, he retreats back to first. So one away here in the bottom of the second with Kian still at first. When you look at some of the more popular football players, somebody like Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, again, those guys with tons of followers just compared to baseball.
So some more breaking news out of the NFL. It's been reported that Tom Brady has in fact retired, but from Adam Schefter got a statement from Tom Brady's agent Don Yee, quote, "I understand the advanced speculation with Tom's future." Without getting to any accuracy or inaccuracy about what's being reported, Tom will be the only person to express his plans with complete accuracy. He knows the realities in the football business, as taking off to second is Kian, and he's in there for a stolen base. Continue with the quote, "He knows the realities of football business and planning calendar as well as anybody, so that should be soon." So we don't know for a fact now if Brady has officially retired.
Yeah, I wanted to say they probably jumped the gun on that. I was very surprised, hearing that, Tom Brady's going to retire. He just doesn't strike me as the type of guy that is going to exit his career on the note that he did.
Yeah, I was assuming that he'd go with at least one more Super Bowl.
This is grounded over towards the first baseman, Swanji Pang, and he's going to take care of Adrian Sanchez himself. Moving up to third on the ground ball is Kian. So 2 down here in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless here in the early goings. That'll bring up Danny Fontana with 2 away and a runner at third. But yes, obviously some shocking news there, and a guy that's making me feel older now, reminiscing on the tuck rule game. It was back when Brady was, I believe he was a rookie that year. He was either a rookie or in his second year. Obviously a tremendous career for him. One of the greatest competitors in all of sports history. As this ball is hit deep into left field but foul, it's going to be over by the batting cages. You think about the ultimate competitors of competitors in sports, and Tom Brady is a guy that, he appears, or a guy that you think of, at least in basketball, you think of Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. In baseball, you think of a guy like Derek Jeter. Some of those guys, they just have that natural ability to lead their teams, and played for a long time as this ball is hit in the air to left field again and foul again. Still no balls and 2 strikes to the hitter, Danny Fontana.
The ball he hit before this one, that one definitely had at least to the wall distance.
Trying to look at some of the longest tenured players in baseball, team by team. Get some names in there again. Yeah. Some of these making me feel all too old, Andres.
Yeah, first one that comes to mind is like Paul Konerko of the White Sox. That's long careers. This one is hitting to deep left field.
Left field and playable. Moving back a little bit into his left is the left fielder, Blake Porter, who squeezes it for the 3rd out. So the Lumberjacks threaten. They get Key into 3rd, but they leave him stranded there. And there is still no score in this ballgame. We'll go to the bottom half of the 2nd. Keep it right here for more California Winter League action. Back in Palm Springs, as we go to the top of the 3rd, it'll be the chill to bat. Swan G. Peng will lead it off in a scoreless game so far, a pitcher's duel between Juan Martinez and Michael Bono, who goes out to the hill for the 3rd inning of work. And the first pitch he throws of the inning is outside for a ball.
Shuang Jui Peng is batting .417. He's got 4 singles, a double, 3 runs, 1 RBI, and only 1 strikeout. OPS is around the early 900s, 917. Slugging's out of 500.
Taken for ball 2 as I investigate our trivia.
Our query of the day.
Between who is the longest tenured White Sox. We were having this debate in between the break as we were talking about long tenured people after that discussion about Tom Brady. So I was looking up each longest tenured player in the MLB. Looks like Jose Abreu might have more time in the big leagues starting in 2014, but I think they're just saying with the organization. So Anderson was with the organization 1 year longer.
That's a wild idea there.
Yeah.
'Cause, I'm thinking the Rookie of the Year, MVP there.
Yep.
You know, it's made, not saying that Tim Anderson isn't a great player. I mean, let's take a look back at the Field of Dreams game. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
He's a phenomenal player.
Oh, an electric player at that.
And it makes the inner Cub fan in me frustrated. Because we no longer have a stellar shortstop.
Full count here to Swan G. Peng, the lead man for the Chill. Here in the top of the 3rd, Bono deals, fouled away. We'll do it again. Of course, I had to check on my favorite team, the Royals, being from Kansas City. Salvador
I was going to say
Perez
Sally's got to be the oldest one there, or longest guy there.
would have been obviously Alex Gordon, but he retired last year. He'll someday get a statue out there beyond the fountains in Kansas City as Swan Ji-Peng goes down swinging for another strikeout from Michael Bono, who now has 5 in the game.
Yeah, Michael has been doing a great job. Zeros across the board except for that strikeout. That's 5 as Ohira comes up to bat.
2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, and now 1 to open up the third. As Kazuya Ohira stands in, the 8-hole hitter shoots this one down the line and right and foul over that big puddle down there, which I don't know if that puddle's ever going to go away. I don't know if you can't really see it on the broadcast. The camera cuts out down the line, I believe, there, but there's that big puddle, and obviously no issue in the summertime when it's consistently 110 degrees out here, but a little bit of a different story, especially on a cloudy day like today.
Kazuya Ohira is batting, believe it or not, .833. He's only had 6 at-bats, and he has 5 hits. 4 of them being singles, 1 a double. He has 6 RBIs, 1 run, and only 1 strikeout in that 1 at-bat that he doesn't have a hit.
When you're hot, and we'll see if you can continue here. This time, though, Bono gets the best of him. Strike 3 swinging. Bono now has 6 strikeouts here and 2 away here in the top of the third on back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, I had a feeling that Bono might have had Ohira's number as Ohira goes into the dugout, but Ohira had that 5 RBI game against the A's. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough to defeat them, as that was the first A's victory when they had that 9-run 6th inning.
Josh Hines, the 9-hole hitter, will bat here with 2 away, swinging and missing strike 1. Bono, again, we went through his numbers. Nothing really jumping out at the first glance, but boy, he is off to a tremendous start here. Again, so far coming into the game, no game started. A lot of walks and a lot of runs given up, so maybe really all he needed was a change of scenery in the starting role, as this ball is skied high in the air, drifting towards right field, but it'll be the center fielder to call off. That's Killian Bloat out there who calls off the right fielder, Kane Ruiz. So the play is made, and it's another clean inning for Michael Bono. He tallies 2 more strikeouts as he now has 6 in the ball game. Still no score as we go to the bottom half of the third here in Palm Springs.
ball to the bottom half.
We'll go to the bottom half of the third. The Lumberjacks come to bat here. It's a scoreless ball game so far. Not much doing offensively for both teams. Michael Bono finished off that top half of the third with 2 more strikeouts to give him 6. As we reel in some of the data on him, can't give you an exact percentage, but it looks like pretty much 90% of his pitches fastballs, just sticking with that pitch. As this ball is skied in the air towards the third baseman, but calling off is Juan Martinez, the pitcher, who squeezes it coming off the mound and making the play. So that was Andres Mendoza as he pops out to the pitcher for the first out.
Yeah, Juan Martinez, I don't think heard Jones. I think Jones was making that call. And Martinez says, nah, I got it, made the play.
Typically, you don't want your pitcher making the play.
Yeah, you want him to sit there and focus on pitching.
Yep. Pretty much simply for the fact that you don't want him running down the hill in an awkward way to twist an ankle or something like that. For reference, shortstop has the most priority on the infield, and it would be the second baseman, then followed by the corners.
Yeah. I remember in high school, my coach sat us down, very much like a classroom setting, draw on the whiteboard who's got priority over what area, what jurisdictions, and the center fielder, surprisingly, has jurisdiction over everything.
Yes, center fielder takes priority as this ball is shot into right field. Hard hit off the bat of Nick Jimbavo, who will get things started here with 1 here in the bottom of the third. So Jimbavo is aboard for the second hit of the ballgame for the Lumberjacks. Both teams still scoreless in this one, but the Lumberjacks looking to try to get the first run across here in the bottom of the third.
And going back to that jurisdiction of each player, the center fielder, hypothetically, if he wanted to, could call off the catcher on a pop fly.
Theoretically, they'd have to make a long running grab. Actually, you know who I think could make the run that far as this pitch comes in? Hit up the middle on a couple of bounces. That's Killian Bloat. Back-to-back base hits for the Lumberjacks.
I think I know who you're alluding to.
So I'm going to allude to my favorite, or at least my personal favorite, childhood baseball movie. That was Little Big League.
Yeah.
And you already know where I'm going with this, Andres. Going to, I believe it's like the bottom half of the ninth, the Twins in that movie, they're trying to make the playoffs with Billy Haywood. It's an absolute absurd plot, if you will. Of course, every children's sports movie is, but Ken Griffey Jr. makes an appearance in that movie. He's kind of the bad guy for the Mariners, and for those of you that want to see what I'm talking about, you can find it on YouTube. It's an absolutely hilarious scene. Ken Griffey Jr. runs about a quarter mile. For whatever reason, Jr. starts in like right center field, which I don't know why he's in right center field. He runs about a quarter mile to left center field to make the play. It's absolutely hilarious. But
well, you remember that commercial he was in where he ran across America?
Oh, yes, the Nike commercial. This is Christian Kuzemka.
He had a foul ball that had home run distance.
Yes, luckily for him, no junior in center field as he bounces it up the middle. This might score the first run of the ball game. Racing around third is Jim Balvo as the ball comes in and is cut off around second base. So it's an RBI base hit for Christian Kuzemka, and the Lumberjacks are in business here in the bottom of the third.
A great piece of hitting, back-to-back singles up the middle. That's back-to-back-to-back singles regardless, but 2 of them back up the middle. And it'll be Greg Vaughn Jr. to see if he can keep that line moving and bring some more runs in.
So the Lumberjacks are on the board here, getting good production from their 1 through 3 guys in Jim Balvo, Bloat, and Kuzemka. Now it'll be Greg Vaughn Jr. He flied out to right his first time around. 1-0 here, the Lumberjacks on the board. This ball should be well deep enough to score another run. Backtracking in center is A.J. Pollock, who makes the play, and walking home is Killian Bloat on the sacrifice fly. So Greg Vaughn does his job, and it's now 2-0 in favor of the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, so Runner from third, Killian Bloat will tag up to score that second run. Lumberjacks lead 2-0. Kazemka stays at first, and that is out number 2.
So 2 away here in the third. Lumberjacks putting 2 across, giving some good offense behind the starter Michael Bono, who's been phenomenal for them on the other side of the baseball, as Spencer Kean digs in and takes strike 1.
Spencer Kean.
So an 0-1 count here, 2 outs, runner at first. That is Kazemka. Slow start to this inning as Mendoza popped out to the pitcher, but then 3 straight singles and the sacrifice. The Jacks lead it 2-0. This ball in the dirt, kept in front by Josh Hines. 1 ball and 1 strike. Perfectly on cue with the baseball movie reference, Andre says MLB.com, they don't really have a lot to talk about with the lockout going on. They had an article about best baseball movies. That's always a fun debate to have.
Oh, yeah.
Bull Durham, obviously, up there.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is Moneyball.
Moneyball's a good one. I think it's a good film on its own because it's not one of these, as we said, absurd plots. It's based on a real story. Great acting, and we got one of the actors here who's been helping out a lot.
This will be a 1-2. Juan Martinez checks on the runner and deals home. Hit up the middle as Martinez dives to save his life.
More of a fall. He fell on his back.
A single for Kean, who almost took off Martinez's head, and he's kind of in shock after the play. We'll go out to check on him, but he should be just fine. I think he was just kind of in shock from how hard that ball was hit. We'll try to get an exit velo on that one off the bat of Kean. So the inning will stay alive and continue as Kuzemka moves up into scoring position on the single. And now the 4th hit of this inning for the Lumberjacks, who now have 5 hits in the ballgame, and they lead it 2-0.
You see, Juan Martinez isn't like missing any spots. He's pitching really great. It's just the Lumberjacks are just seeing everything and putting good wood on it and sending it right back where it came from. They're going to give him a chance to warm up as, rattled. That thing went right past his head and he fell on his back straight down. And as the play was going, he took a couple breaths on his back at the bottom of the base of the mound. It's a scary sight.
Martinez, not a huge strikeout guy, came into this game with 7 so far in 7 innings of work. So not bad numbers on the strikeouts, but
Absolutely not.
He definitely does not rely on the strikeout. So he'll really rely on getting guys to make weak contact, putting the ball in play. However, so far, a sign of no strikeouts can be an indication that the ball is easy to see right now for the Lumberjacks, as they have now started to put it on him here in the 3rd.
I'm not exactly sure what kind of velocity he has. Is this one sent into deep? And I'll let you call it.
Popped into left. That ball is going to be caught by the left fielder out there. That was Blake Porter. We'll get you that exit velo from Kean when we come back, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. As the Jacks play 2 here in the 3rd, they lead it 2-0 as we go to the top half of the 4th. Back here in Palm Springs, this will be Chandler Palias to lead it off. We were going to get you that exit velocity from Spencer Kean, who almost took off the head of Juan Martinez. We got that number 97 on the exit velo. Martinez will work around that upper 80s range, but coming right back at him at 97. No wonder he was in shock as he dove out of the way.
It's not an insult to Martinez in any way, shape, or form, but that ball comes back harder than most guys can throw here. You don't see a lot of upper 90 fastballs coming off of these guys.
Just diving out of the way, so good thing he's okay. As Palias takes low here, the count is 2 balls and a strike to the left-handed hitter. He struck out swinging back in the first. Michael Bono, 3 clean innings and 6 strikeouts so far for the right-handed pitcher who gets the start today. 2-1, fastball high and away. Missing 3 balls and a strike. He's really relied heavily on that fastball. He's gone to the breaking ball when he needs to, but so far he really hasn't needed to.
Yeah, he's thrown 71% of his pitches for strikes. He's only thrown 39 thus far.
Yeah, if you're a pitching coach, you are going to live with those numbers any day of the week.
Yeah, and he's pitching effectively. Again, 42 pitches in almost 4 innings. That's effective.
He has Palias in a full count here. The Lumberjacks took the lead in the bottom half of the third, scores 2-0. As Bono is ready to fire. Swing and a miss. Palias down on strikes. Another fastball from Bono. Blows it right by Palias for his 7th strikeout today.
He is putting up a great game. You know, we've been very lucky to be treated to 2 such great games. Again, alluding back to our first game today, the walk-off win by the Canada A's, and just a great comeback by the Grizzly to tie it up at the top of the 7th. And again, these games will end in a tie, so someone has to either win at the bottom of the 7th. We don't do extra innings here, but a great game nonetheless.
Just barely missing against the hitter A.J. Pollock, who also struck out back in the first. From what I thought, yesterday we saw probably the best pitching performance so far this year from the starter Bryce Foster for the power. But right now, Michael Bono is certainly making his case for arguably the best start of the year so far in the Winter League. Falling behind Pollock here, though, 2-0.
I'm going to try to see if I can pull up those stats yesterday and give the viewers a little bit of an insight what happened if they weren't here.
Here's the ball outside. It's 3-0. And I'll try to look here. I do believe, well, I don't want to speak too soon.
So Bryce Foster did 5 innings, only allowed 2 hits, no runs as it to his line. 4 strikeouts, no walks, and no home runs given up.
This ball is hit foul. I'm going to try to find here. I don't want to speak too soon. I do believe Michael Bono is signed, though. Trying to look on the social media page. Cannot confirm that, so don't quote me on that. If he's not signed yet, he's certainly making his case, or his best case to do so far. 3 balls and a strike to A.J. Pollock. Swinging and hitting this ball high in the air down the right field line. It's going to be foul as Kane Ruiz chases it all the way to the chain link fence over by the Chill bullpen.
And the thing about Michael Bono, his last appearance on Tuesday, January 25th, against the A's, he only pitched 1 2/3 inning. He got a loss in that game. Again, giving up 9 runs, 8 of them being earned. He walked 5 batters. This is the closest he's gotten all game to even remotely trying to walk a batter. Not that you're trying to, but to put himself in a position to walk anyone.
How about another strikeout here? He's going to miss away instead. So Pollock will be the first base runner of the game for the Chill as Bono issues the walk on the fastball that got away from him. So finally something doing for the Chill offensively. It'll be the 3-hole hitter Gavin Jones next to hit for them. They trail in this game 2-0. The Jacks with 2 in the bottom of the third. We are in the top of the fourth here so far in Palm Springs on a cloudy day. Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda. Here's Jones as this ball is in the dirt. Andres Mendoza, the catcher, keeps it in front. I'm not sure if he slipped there, but home plate umpire will step out from behind the dish and go walk the ball up to Michael Bono.
I don't want to speculate, but I think Mendoza may have gotten hit in a place that is not so friendly for baseballs. So he takes a little bit of a stroll around.
Right in the beanbag. 1 ball and no strikes. Gavin Jones 0 for 1. He flied out to center his first time around. Lumberjacks will play for 2 on the infield with A.J. Pollock at first. He has good speed, though, so he'll look to break up the double play. Gavin Jones awaits this ball in the dirt. Mendoza working hard for his pitcher. And that is something that you still can do at the amateur level. Try to take out the base runner, the defenseman at second on a slide. Can't do that in the MLB anymore after too many collisions. But guys certainly can still show that aggressiveness here in this Winter League, as this ball is outside. So Bono, working pretty much flawlessly up until this inning, has now found himself in a little bit of trouble, losing the strike zone here. 3 balls and no strikes to Jones. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, right back on track with that one.
Now Bono's fallen off just a little bit. Nothing too detrimental. He's at 53 pitches. 61% of them have been for strikes.
The Chill look for their first hit of the game as this ball is hit foul. Pollock was running on the pitch. He'll have to go back to first. And the Lumberjacks do have somebody warming in their bullpen. Three and 2 is the count here with 1 away. Bono will step off the rubber as he looks to find some extra grip on the baseball. And now he comes back onto the rubber as he peeks in for the sign. A 3-2 coming. Pollock moves. This ball hit into right field. Will it stay fair? Down the line, it's going to be foul.
What I was going to say is Gavin Jones, one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. The fact that he was put down in the first inning was pretty impressive.
A dangerous threat from the right-handed hitter. Bono will certainly provide the power on the pitching end. See if Jones can provide some power offensively. We'll do another 3-2. Bono ready to go. Kicks, delivers. Hit foul. Late on the fastball was Jones. So Bono still going back to that fastball, trying to keep it low in the zone to induce a ground ball. That would be the ideal situation for them defensively. He's set and ready for another 3-2. Breaking ball. Good spin on that one, but it stays inside. A good eye from Gavin Jones to not chase. It'll be back-to-back walks. And now runners at first and second.
Here comes JJ to talk to his pitcher. Not sure if there's going to be a pitching change immediately here. But Aldenabro is warming for the Jacks, and it looks like it's just going to be a little meeting on the mound before he faces Bill Pearson, who struck out his last time at the plate on 7 pitches.
Looks like that will be the day for Michael Bono. So we'll take a quick break as Bono exits. Still a stellar start for him as he'll leave with 7 strikeouts in the ballgame, working through 3 1/3. The Lumberjacks do lead it. It's 2-0. We'll be back with more CWL action after the pitching change. Keep it right here.
number 33, Bill.
So a pitching change has been made as Michael Bono exits. A terrific effort on his end as he exits with 7 strikeouts. This will be Roberto Baldenebro, the new pitcher on the hill for the Jacks, a 6 foot, 170-pound right-handed pitcher, as Bill Pearson swings and fouls off pitch number 1. Pearson 0 for 1, a strikeout for him his last time up, with Blake Porter awaiting on deck. Xiao Pin Ho to follow that one. Back-to-back walks from Bono to give runners at first and second, and now sidewinding. They're going to say this is a balk, as Baldenebro started, then stopped, and then started again. So a balk will put Pollock at third and Gavin Jones at second.
There was a lot of shouting there as the runners were taking off, and you can throw off a pitcher. When you're focused on your catcher and then you're yelling, usually your first instinct is to step off, but he was already in the middle of his wind.
So no pitch on the balk, as Bill Pearson will hit with an 0-1 count. Dangerous right-handed hitter awaits as Baldenebro brings it. Fastball high in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Chill still looking for their first run of the ballgame. They trail 2-0. Searching for their first run and also searching for their first hit of the ballgame. Only 2 base runners in both Pollock and Jones so far who walked.
A huge opportunity for Pearson to drive him in.
Took something off of that one as Pearson goes fishing for it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pearson again entering the game at 167. He struck out earlier. That's his 3rd strikeout on the year. Only 2 doubles. Only 2 RBIs.
We'll see if he can put the ball in play and give himself an opportunity to drive in a run. Here's a 1-2 coming. Swung on and missed. Blew the fastball right by him. Bill Pearson down on strikes for the 2nd time today. And there are 2 outs now in the top of the 4th.
Right, next time.
2 strikeouts on Bill Pearson for the day. He's definitely not a way you want to go down. That's the only time he's ever had more than 1 strikeout in a game.
So now it'll be up to Blake Porter. He also struck out back in the 2nd, swinging at the first pitch and fouling it off. This would be a huge performance from Baldenebro to come into this game with 2 runners on and try to exit unscathed, as the Lumberjacks do lead 2-0. They would like to keep the Chill with that big fat 0 on the board.
Porter, last time he went up, he struck out looking.
Left-hander awaits from the righty, who peeks back and deals. Check swing on the changeup, but it's down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike, and even count here. 2 down, top of the 4th. Chill are pressing the Lumberjacks, trying to get at least 1 across. 2 men in scoring position for them. A 1-1. This ball hit hard and high in the air to the center fielder, barely having to move out there. And that'll be Killian Bloat to put him away for the 3rd out. So Baldenebro comes in and gives a good effort to keep the runners right where they're at, as the Chill strand 2 in scoring position. The Lumberjacks still lead it 2-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 4th. The Lumberjacks hold the chill in the top half of the fourth. They leave two stranded as we go to the home half of the fourth, and the Jacks lead it 2-0 is our score. Good job by Baldenebro to come in and silence the chill. The Lumberjacks are 2-4 in the league. They're trying to get back in the win column as they have lost 3 straight. The Chill, on the other hand, come in with a record of 3-2. They've lost their last game. Martinez back to the hill as he throws outside here. The lead man is Adrian Sanchez. It'll be 7-8-9. The allotted slots to hit here for the Lumberjacks. The left-hander Sanchez grounded out his last time out. Out in front on this pitch, and he fouls it off.
So now some more news on the Brady decision. According to the Associated Press, despite the reports, Tom Brady still has not made up his mind. So he's not officially retired.
Sanchez will walk down to first on ball 4. And I figured just as much. That it almost sounds like the classic case of today's age where journalists are fighting to break the news and create headlines. It felt to me like that one was a little premature, so we'll follow along with it as we go. I can't believe, as far as the baseball side of things is concerned, I can't believe a guy like Miguel Cabrera or Albert Pujols, they're still in the league. And we've talked about this a little bit before on the broadcast here, that baseball, while it's not necessarily the most physically demanding minute by minute, it definitely is a demanding sport in the sense of just long grinded out seasons. Talk about the dog days of summer. As this ball is grounded to the left side, it's going to be a base hit for Danny Fontana. So moving up to second will be Sanchez on the base hit.
And then off of Jones and O'Hara's glove before it rolled out to Porter.
Yeah, we talk about the dog days of summer all the time. And again, not the most physically demanding sport on a pitch by pitch basis, but a lot goes into it. I mean, these guys at the pro level working basically 9 months out of the year, essentially, and you know that those guys are putting in extra work in those down months. As this ball is hit into left field and it splashes into a puddle. It's a fair ball. Chasing it down the line is Porter. Coming across the score is Sanchez. Being held up at third as the throw comes in is Danny Fontana. So Andres Mendoza doubles in a run. Don't get the RBI as Sanchez crosses the plate for the third run of the ballgame for the Jacks.
Lumberjacks take a 3-0 lead against the Chill. Great hit by Andres Mendoza, and just happened to splash out there. I didn't even notice there was a puddle in the outfield.
Splash hit there. We're not in San Francisco, if you were wondering, but entered the splash zone. And he gets a double out of it. So this will be Nick Gimbalvo, who singled his last time up as the Chill put the partial shift on. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air towards center. It's slicing away from Pollock, giving chase. And now diving and making the play is Blake Porter. The left fielder comes over to make a tremendous web gem grab in left center field.
They're going to call the force out at second.
So a tremendous defensive effort from Blake Porter as they get the double play. What a play from the left fielder for the Chill. Diving close to the warning track. So that'll do it in the fourth for the Lumberjacks. They do get another run across as the score is now 3-0. And we will go to the fifth here in Palm Springs. Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda. As we go to the fifth, the score's 3-0 in favor of the Jacks. For those of you that were watching that last half frame, a run did score. Adrian Sanchez walked and then would score on the double by Andres Mendoza. Nick Jimbalvo hit the long fly ball into left center field. That ball was caught by the left fielder Blake Porter on a tremendous diving play, and then it was actually a triple play. We didn't want to speak too soon on the exact play that happened, but basically Danny Fontana at third and Mendoza at second, they both left early because they believed that Porter did not make the grab, but he did. So Porter threw it in, and then they go 8-4-6-5 on the triple play. This ball is hit a ton into right center field. Not being able to make the grab is Killian Bloat, heading to second, rounding second, and now going to third is going to be Xiaopin Ho. And he is going to be safe at third with a triple. So that ball slicing away from Killian Bloat. He couldn't make the grab on a great effort in center field. And Xiaopin Ho just kept on trucking along. And he's at third with a leadoff triple.
Triple play and then a triple.
A lot of fireworks here in the last couple of minutes. That's a big base hit for the Chill and their first hit of the ball game. And this will be Swanji Pang. The lefty check swing, it's called a strike. So again, just to backtrack and set the record straight, a triple play to end off the bottom of the fourth from the Lumberjacks. And now the triple to open up the fifth from Xiaopin Ho. And the batter is Swanji Pang. So the first hit of the ball game for Pin Ho, for the Chill at least, as they trail this one by 3, and they will try to make a comeback here as Pang hits this one into left softly. Greg Vaughn giving chase as he moves towards the line, makes the running grab, and staying put at third is Pin Ho, not deep enough to get the sacrifice fly and get the run in. So there will be one out as Pin Ho stays at third on the fly out. Now it'll be up to Kazuya Ohira, who is 0 for 1, a strikeout his first time around. So many strikeouts in the game so far for the Chill. Michael Bono, the starter, would strike out 7. As this pitch is going to miss just barely up. It's Baldanabro now on the hill. He relieved Bono. He has a strikeout for himself to give them 8 as a staff. Ohira hits here with 1 down and a runner at third, taking outside. So unable to get the run home was Pang on the fly out. Ohira will try to pick up that run here as he hits from the right side, and Baldanabro brings this pitch swung on right on time on the fastball was Ohira, but he's unable to square it up and put it in fair territory, so he will remain at the plate. A plethora of balls hit hard into the outfield from both teams so far, Andres.
Yeah, absolutely. Chill finally get their first man on, as this one's going to be bounced to second.
That'll do the job. Over to the second baseman, Spencer Kean, who throws wildly on the lob throw. Nonetheless, it'll score the run. Pin Ho crosses the plate. First run of the ballgame for the Chill, who now trail by 2. It's 3-1.
Small ball for the Chill, but they will cross. Not to take anything away from the runner that just scored on that triple, but it's a good start.
Typically, we've talked about this, the ball does not carry here at this ballpark, but a bunch of balls hit into the outfield so far that have just burned outfielders, as this pitch is in there for a strike right down the middle to Josh Hines, who's 0 for 1.
Now batting, the catcher, number 9, Joshua Hines.
So 2 away here in the top of the fifth as Baldonabro brings it, and it's fouled off to the right.
Hit for the chill from Schaupin, hoping that triple and scoring the run, the RBI by a hero. Joshua Hines is 0 for 1.
We'll have to find out what's going on down there in the chill dugout, at least out in front. Looks like there might be Ohira, or I'm not totally sure, but they've got a tripod out there. So ground ball to third. Trying to make the backhanded play was Kuzemka. It's going to go under the glove. And now thinking about second and now starting to go to second is Josh Hines. So he will be at second after the ball went under the glove of Kuzemka. It'll be a double for Hines. So the Chill are not done here in the fifth. After scoring one across on the leadoff triple from Pin Ho, they'll turn the lineup back over to the top with Chandler Palias, the runner at second. Palias is 0 for 2 strikeouts. Looking to at least make contact this time around in his third plate appearance as he takes inside ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. No wind, that's for certain.
None of the leaves rustling or the palm trees swaying. Flags are at a complete standstill.
Talia swinging, and he lost the bat. He'll need to grab some more pine tar as it slipped out of the hands.
I split there. I saw the ball go, and then I saw the white bat go, and I was like, whoa.
So Palias electing not to go with any pine tar. Instead, he'll just do it the old-fashioned way, grab some dirt and spit on the gloves.
That was as legal as it gets with spit.
Yep, I was never much of a pine tar guy myself. As Palias will hit with a 1-1, taking strike 2. It was always one of those things, like, you almost wanted to look, it was more of the look feel to it, like, this will look cool, but then you start lathering it on, and then you slowly realize, I'm not going to be able to let go of the bat.
At all. It's a sticky situation. I'm definitely pro leather skins up there, wrapping the bat at the bottom. It's a nice feel. Wearing batting gloves helps.
That's on the hitter end of things. For the pitchers, that has been a sticky situation as far as the last couple of years are concerned. Guys trying to put foreign substances on the baseball to try and get more spin rate out of their pitches. Here's a 2-2 to Palias, taking upstairs 3-2. The substance that has now been popularized deeply from the pro guys is Spider Tech.
Have you ever touched that stuff?
Yes, I saw it for the first time this summer, and I was just blown away. Like, you take the top of the can off, and it's literally just
stuck on
stretching about a foot long. Palias will hit in a full count, hits this one foul. Spider Tech actually meant for weightlifters or guys that do weightlifting competitions. It's meant for the guys when they grab those big boulders, the big rocks. When they're carrying those or throwing those, it's meant so that they can actually get grip on those big boulders. But then, obviously, baseball guys found out, oh, man, this stuff works a lot better than rosin. Give me some of that. So that's where that came from, as Palias will swing and miss. Down on strikes for the third out. As the Chill leave a man stranded at second, they do get a run back. Score is 3-1 in favor of the Jacks, who will come to bat here in the bottom of the fifth. Keep it right here for more CWL action.
Leading off the bottom half of the fifth inning for the Jacks.
We go to the bottom of the fifth. The Lumberjacks lead it 3-1 in what's been relatively a quiet game. Some sparks offensively at times on balls hit to the outfield, but for the most part, a pitching duel as this ball is hit back up the middle, off of the glove of the new pitcher, Hakuto Kanai, and aboard for an infield hit will be Killian Bloat. First pitch swinging, and he is aboard for his second base hit of the game. He's now 2 for 3 with 2 singles.
Kanai seems to be rubbing off his leg where he got hit. I mean, it's a hard ground ball right back up the middle.
That'll give the Lumberjacks 8 base hits as a team. Just 2 for their counterpart in the Chill. The score is 3-1. This will be the 3-hole hitter Christian Kuzemka, who has remained hot at the dish. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI. As the righty awaits from Kanai, who deals in his sidewinding fashion outside ball 1. Greg Vaughn to follow, then Spencer Kean here in the bottom half of the fifth. This ball is taken for a strike on a slider. In Andres, we're talking about sticky substances. That last half frame.
During my time with the Minnesota Twins last summer, huge revelation from Josh Donaldson saying that he's got a little black book of pitchers who use it, calling out Garrett Cole, and we know how that ended. Garrett Cole ended up striking him out after that whole affair. And again in the south side of Chicago, calling out Lucas Giolito. I think he hit a home run off of Giolito and said something along the lines of hands not sticky anymore. And there was a confrontation in the parking lot. I forget if that was at Target Field or at a guaranteed rate. But a lot of batters. It's one of those topics where if you're a pitcher, you want your best stuff, and it seems agreed upon by most pitchers. But for batters who are making a living, hitting home runs, hitting for doubles, a lot of controversy there about whether to be pro or anti foreign substances, because apparently it's been going on for a while, and the league, Major League Baseball's been kind of drawing a blind eye to it until batters started complaining.
This ball is going to be thrown away on the pickoff attempt, and now rounding second, digging for third is going to be Bloat. So Bloat is going to be at third after the throwing error from Hakuto Kanai on the pickoff attempt.
Give Kanai an error there.
So he'll be at third in scoring position with nobody out. Kuzemka at the plate in a 1-2 count. Now the infield drawn in from the Chill. So they'll try to cut the run at home, and Kuzemka will look to put it into the outfield. He chops it to the second baseman, Pinho, so he is unable to get the run home and grounds out to the second baseman. So the infield being brought in works in their favor as they keep Bloat at third. Yeah, it's an interesting topic of discussion, obviously. Guys using foreign substances, and there's no research or anything on how effective it really is in adding to spin rate for guys. Obviously, I'm assuming it definitely adds it on. If you're able to grip the ball better. As this ball is flied into center field, Pollock sprinting to his left, he'll make the play, but scoring easily on the fly ball out will be Killian Bloat. So a sacrifice fly for Greg Vaughn, who goes after the first pitch. Another run across for the Lumberjacks. They now lead it 4-1 here in the fifth.
A great play by Pollock to track it down in right center field, obviously trading that run for an out as the Lumberjacks take a 4-1 lead.
Between Pollock in center, Porter in left, and Palias in right, probably one of the better defensive outfields here at the Winter League. Those guys all cover a ton of ground in a ballpark where you have to cover a ton of ground. Spencer Kean, the batter, as he takes for a ball. But again, going back to the foreign substances, obviously there's really no research on it, but talking a little bit about how pitchers getting frustrated as this ball is bounded a couple of times over to O'Hara, the shortstop. We'll continue the discussion as we go along. Another quick out there. The Lumberjacks do get another run across, though, as they lead it now 4-1 through 5 innings. We'll go to the 6th here in Palm Springs.
For the duel, the center fielder.
We go to the 6th. Mitch Glasser alongside Andres Tejeda. This will be A.J. Pollock to lead it off for the Chill, who trail by 3 runs. 4-1 is our score. We're talking about pitchers getting upset, and that can kind of segue into, Andres, just how prideful baseball players are amongst other sports. Baseball players might carry around with them the most pride of any professional sport. Obviously, if you're a professional athlete, you're going to play with pride, but guys really don't mess around. You know, they don't want their integrity questioned as Pollock lines one softly into left field in front of Greg Vaughn. He'll take a decent round at first, but stay put there. It's a leadoff single for A.J. Pollock, who now has his first hit of the game. He's 1 for 2.
This is a little different. Pollock is now going to go 1 for 2 instead of a walk and a strikeout. And that'll be Gavin Jones, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout and a walk.
Baseball players don't like to have their integrity challenged and play with a ton of pride. They don't like to be accused of things, that's for certain. And we've seen that obviously with the steroid era. Guys, not wanting to admit to that. They didn't, hated to be accused of that. Guys being accused of sticky substances. Guys hate that. So, just one of those things, a mannerism of baseball players that you'll find as they'll check on the runner. This is Gavin Jones at the plate with Pollock at first after the single. A classic example of this, I would say, is think about the All-Star games in major sports. You got the NFL Pro Bowl, which is more or less a glorified two-hand touch game. As the runner takes off, called a strike, and throw is not in time, a stolen base for Pollock. When you think about the NBA All-Star game, which by about the third quarter, it turns into a dunk contest. And this was always my thing with baseball is people were like, well, if you take away the incentive to get World Series home field advantage, guys are not going to try. And me being a ball player at the time, I would always counter-argument them. I'd be like, you can't honestly tell me, as we'll get this play in, Ruiz back in right field on the fly ball. Tagging at second will be Pollock. He'll move up to third on the fly ball out from Gavin Jones. So F9 with the runner at third. But my point was always, people were like, well, guys are not going to try. And I'm sitting there like, you are not going to tell me in any world that Mariano Rivera, you think of all people, Mariano Rivera, let's just, hypothetically speaking, he's in the ballgame in the ninth. Let's say it's 3-1. The AL is leading. Do you think in any world that Mariano Rivera is going to groove a fastball to the hitter?
Absolutely.
No way. No shot. Like, just no chance.
Yeah, best of the best playing against each other.
Right. So you could play in a meaningless game, but baseball players, it's one of those games. They're always going to give their best effort. You're always going to have, the starter in the All-Star game trying to hit triple digits. Jacob deGrom is not going to go out there and say, this game doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to groove a couple of fastballs. It's just not in a baseball player's blood.
Absolutely.
It's not how they operate.
Yeah, when you watch an All-Star game, you're going to get your All-Stars. I think fondly of a All-Star game that went deep into extra innings. I remember watching that game all night long. I can't remember when, but I remember Giancarlo Stanton was a part of that game. A lot of guys were a part of it. If it gets past, it's going to be a wild pitch, and the one will score.
That one seemed to be fringy, wild pitch, maybe edge more on the side of pass ball, but nonetheless, Pollock will score, so the Chill now cut the deficit in half. It's 4-2 in favor of the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching the All-Star games. I remember I was in Minnesota watching this year's past All-Star game. It was in a cute little town called Stillwater.
And while we continue the conversation, this is actually a new hitter hitting in place of Bill Pearson. This is going to be
Vince Garcia.
Vince Garcia.
It's a 2-2 count to him now. Got a wild standing ovation from fans when he came up to the plate.
Must have some family in town. It's in a 2-2 count with one down. Pollock started out the inning with a leadoff single. Gavin Jones hitting the sacrifice fly. He flied out, and then Pollock scoring on the pass ball, excuse me.
Vince Garcia batting 143. He's got one strikeout, a double, and that's the only hit he's had. He did get 3 RBIs on that bases clearing double as he goes down on strikes here.
Frozen looking on the fastball was clearly looking for something off speed, but didn't get it, and instead just couldn't pull the bat off the shoulder. So 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Score is 4-2 as the Chill have added a run here in the 6th.
Tough. That's Vince's 7th strikeout of the month so far.
I was lucky enough, Andres, and again, we might have to continue this in a bit as this ball is skied on the infield now into shallow left field. The shortstop, Adrian Sanchez, calls off everybody on that side of the diamond to make the play for the 3rd out. The Chill do get a run back. They've scored in consecutive innings in the 5th and now the 6th. But they do trail it by 2 runs. 4-2 is our score as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. back in Palm Springs as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2 is our score. This will be Kane Ruiz taking strike 1 from the pitcher Kanai on the hill for the chill. And now taking low for a ball. We left off talking a little bit about all-star games, and Andres, I was mentioning to you I was lucky enough to go to the 2012 one in Kansas City, and lots of good memories. I'm looking at the box score from that game. Some of the names are looking older now. A guy like Ryan Braun started in that game.
Oh boy.
Melky Cabrera.
Another good one.
Buster Posey. Obviously, he had a really good year this past year. Carlos Beltran. Josh Hamilton.
Oh.
What a name there.
Yeah, one of my brother's favorites. I think he asked him a question during the winter meetings or something, and he got it answered live on air. Well, he asked it over Twitter or something. I remember he saved the clip somewhere, but he was very excited to see one of his heroes answer a question for him.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Ruiz. Pitch on the way, and it's outside for ball 4, so Ruiz will take a walk down to first. But yes, I do just vividly remember we went to the Futures game that they hold on the first day, and I remember that was when Will Myers was in the Royal system, and he was the big deal, and I remember the whole stadium just froze when he was taking batting practice. Mm-hmm. That was fun. I remember Billy Hamilton played in that Futures game.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember who else. I'd have to look it up. But then the home run derby the next day, watching Prince Fielder hit moonshot after moonshot into the fountains, and then the All-Star game, talking about meeting Josh Hamilton and how that was a dream come true. There's something about the All-Star game being around that many guys. As this ball is chopped to second, it'll be a tough play over for Pin Ho. He underhands to first to make the play, so moving up to second will be Ruiz on the ground ball out. One away here in the bottom of the 6th, but I just remember being younger, obviously, and there was something about it with, Kansas City, obviously not a big media attention spot in the country, but with all the media there and the buzz, and it just had this magical feel to it. I know that sounds corny, but this ball is hit on a couple of hops to Pin Ho. He'll have to underhand again, and dropping it at first will be Pang. So we'll decide who to give the error to here.
Actually, I don't think that's either of them. It's Leno's at second and Van Weidergen at first.
Okay, so Andres puts us up to speed there. So that error is going to go on Van Weigerden, the first baseman, who was unable to squeeze it at first. So runners at the corners now after the error. And now Andres Mendoza will be the batter. But there's something about it, just being in the presence of that much talent. It was kind of humbling. Mm-hmm. You're just looking at so many guys that are just amazing at what they do, obviously. As Mendoza bats here. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mendoza doubled his last time up, drove in a run, as he is 1 for 2. Score is 4-2 with runners at the corners here. The Jacks looking to add on to that 4 spot as Mendoza swings and misses, 1 and 2. They would like another insurance run here in the bottom of the 6th.
And a little bit of an air show out there. You can see it on the screen. A couple crop dusters.
And I think it's too far out in the distance as this ball is skied in the air. That'll be the shortstop. Don't know if that is still O'Hira out there. If it is, he makes the play in shallow center, moving back as he backpedaled and make the play. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. The Jacks would like to plate another run. And it'll be up to Nick Gimbalvo, who has hit the ball hard his last 2 times up. A single back in the 3rd, and then he hit into that triple play in the 4th. It was a tremendous play by the left fielder Blake Porter, who made a dive out by the warning track. So that was the triple play, though, but Gimbalvo has stayed hot at the plate as he goes after the first pitch swinging and hits it foul Off to the left, it's an 0-1 count with 2 down here, bottom of the 6th. Kanai set and ready to go. Deals in the dirt. Hines keeps it in front enough to prevent the run from scoring from third, but moving up to second on the wild pitch is Fontana.
And it's that shortstop that we assumed, that's going to be Lenny Peters at short.
Lenny Peters at short.
So I'll give you a defensive change here once we get this next pitch.
Bounding up the middle, past the glove of Peters into center. In the hands of Pollock, who throws home, not in time as 2 runs come across. It's a 2 RBI base hit for Jim Balvo, who remains red hot at the plate.
Yeah, great hit up the middle, way to send it back, and where now the Lumberjacks are leading 6-2.
So they do get some insurance, courtesy of Jim Balvo, who has really stood out offensively for the Lumberjacks. And now Killian Bloat, who also has 2 hits in the game, 2 singles for him and 2 runs scored. Taking a little bit high for a ball.
Let's get those defensive changes for you. Porter and Pollock stay out in left and right, still trying to, or left and center, still trying to get that right fielder for you. Infield, from left to right, Jones at third, Lenny Peters at short, Carlos Llanos at second, and Justin Van Wyderen at first. Behind the plate is Devin Fisher, and Kudo Kanai still on the bump. You still got to get that right fielder for you guys.
So here's the pitch outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the hitter, Killian Blow.
Number 11, Killian Blow.
Again, the Lumberjacks lead now by 4. It's 6-2. Getting their 6 runs on 8 hits as this pitch is in for a strike. 3-1 the count to Bloat. A quiet afternoon, not as big of a crowd as we normally see on Saturdays, as Bloat goes after this one, can't hold up. $2 draft beers on Saturdays, can't beat that.
Absolutely not. It's nice, almost $2.40. Yourself an afternoon drink.
CWL, we try to do a bunch of promotions.
Tomorrow's actually Family Day. Admission will only be $2 as going and making a somersault, and now the ovation off the foul ball is Killian Bloat.
I'm even applauding a foul ball and then a somersault backwards from Killian Bloat, and even he can't get up without laughing. He's got a big smile on his face.
I wish we had instant replay. I wish we did.
It's easy to laugh at it when you have a 4-run lead, obviously. So Bloat laughs it off as he will return back to the batter's box in a 3-2 count and 2 outs. Channeling his best Simone Biles there. An Olympian, and speaking of the Olympics, that'll be coming up, the Winter Olympics, that is. This ball is hit foul.
Yeah, you got 2 friends competing in there.
Oh, that is incredible.
Yeah, play for the University of St. Thomas, my alma mater. Actually, the women's coach for the St. Thomas Tommies will be coaching the women's national team. And then our goalkeeper, Saskia Mowers, is the goalkeeper for the Swiss. So this one's coming up, and here comes the ball. Look out.
Loud thud as it lands foul, yeah. Big fan of the winter games. I'm more of a fan of the summer games because of basketball being a big thing. And then this past year, baseball was brought back, Chris. And then I do believe the USA squad, they took home silver. We'll have to check that. I do believe they got silver, though, as this ball is taken inside for ball 4 from Killian Bloat. So moving up to second is Jim Balvo. And most of those games were tough to catch because of the time change, but I was trying to follow along, obviously. One of my favorite events, a very underrated event, I would say, is the World Baseball Classic. You know, as far as trying to reach all parts of the world with the game. I remember a couple of those really good games. This ball is hit back up the middle. Making the play to his left is Peters. And now some good base running as coming around to score was Jim Balvo, who just never held up. And now moving to third is Killian Bloat.
Well, that's going to be a single and then an error on the throw on Lenny Peters. Infield single, but Peters went all the way across, and then an errored throw.
How about the base running by Jim Balvo?
Oh, absolutely.
Great base running as he just didn't hold up. Peters was moving to his left, all of his momentum tracking that direction, and couldn't slam on the brakes fast enough. And Jim Balvo, just with a full head of steam, just kept on trucking along, making it all the way around to score. So good base running there by the Jacks, and now this ball hit back up the middle. Fumbled a little bit in center field by Pollock as another run will come across. 2 runs, that is. Kuzemka scoring and Bloat scoring. So 2 more across for the Jacks. That was off the bat of Greg Vaughn. So a single for him and 2 RBIs. And now the batter should be Spencer Kean. So blowing the doors open here with 5 runs is the Lumberjacks, who now lead at 9-2, extending their lead. So we thought they were only going to get a couple of insurance runs, and instead they've come up with a bunch of insurance here, really opening up this lead.
Going back to the Olympics, the Dominican Republic won bronze, the United States won silver, and Japan won the gold. And if I give, going back to my buddies playing at the Olympics, got to get the other shout out to Nicole Valario, defenseman for the Swiss. It's pretty crazy seeing their social medias, and they're sharing all the experiences, shared where their hotel rooms were, the gifts they received flying out there. It's been an absolute pleasure to just watch from behind the plate, or from behind the screen, as they're going to roll over the inning, and we'll be back with the top of the 7th coming up.
Top of the 7th coming up. Last chance for the Chill, who trail by 7. It's 9-2 in this ball game. Keep it right here as we go to the top half of the 7th. Mitch Glessner back here in Palm Springs alongside Andres Tejeda. This will be Carlos Lenos to hit in place of Xiao Pin Ho. Top half of the 7th, last chance for the Chill, who trail by 7. 9-2 is our score. Swung on a miss late on the fastball is Lenos. Just 2 runs across for the Chill, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Nothing doing through the first 4 frames. Solid start from Michael Bono. who went 3 1/3, 7 strikeouts for him in his start. His first game started of the Winter League. Good effort from him, as it's been Baldenebro ever since. And he's gotten some good work as well. Punching out Lanos here, froze him as he gets Lanos looking for the first out.
Great 3 pitches with a strikeout.
Story of the game has really been the pitching staff between Baldenebro and Bono getting their strikeouts. So that is now the 4th of the game for Baldenebro. 1 away here, and the batter at the plate.
So Justin Van Wydergen.
Van Wygerden.
The first baseman, number 8, Justin
To add his number on the roster sheet here. So Van Wygerden, the batter, with 1 away here in the top of the 7th. It would be Lenny Peters to follow should he get aboard here. And this ball is going to be off of the glove and the chest of the third baseman, Kazemka. So on at first is Van Wygerden. Still deciding hit or error. We'll go with an error on that one. So Kazemka probably should have made the play, and Van Wygerden is at first on the E5. So now Lenny Peters will dig in the right-hander with a runner at first.
Baldenebro at 41 pitches has thrown 73% of that for strikes. That's where you want to live. Anywhere above, I'd say like 60, 63% is really in good spot.
Definitely doing your job if you're hitting that mark. As Peters awaits, swing and a miss. I believe Bono was around the 70% mark.
No, he finished around 63%. He was living around 70, but with those 2 walks, brought him down around the end of his time. But he was living around 70 for most of the game.
Still a tremendous effort. Runner will move here. Throw down is not in time. It's a stolen base for Van Wygerden, who's now in scoring position with 1 away.
Great toss by Mendoza. Almost got him.
Yeah. We've seen some solid play by catchers defensively the last couple of days. Really, in general, good defense all around in the past couple of days. Especially in this game, coming courtesy of some of the outfielders between Porter and Pollock in center for the chill.
An announcement from the Cal Winter League according to Twitter. Tuesday, February 8th is Desert Elite Day. Come on out to historic Palm Springs Stadium for a day of baseball and networking with over 50 of the top business owners in the Coachella Valley.
This ball is hit in the air to left. Vaughn will handle it as he takes a couple of steps to his left and puts away Peters for the second out. An event put on by our marketing director, Noah Fish, who works extremely hard on all of our social media and getting the word around to the local community about the California Winter League. And also, he's here year-round, helping out in the summer with the Power, who play in the evenings, and our Palm Springs Collegiate League that plays in the mornings during the summertime. Last year, 13 PSCL teams, and then the Power on top of that. 14 teams played out here.
Devin
I think
Fisher.
I've referenced that I was out here during the summertime talking about a busy schedule with 3 games in the morning and then the Power at night. A lot of moving pieces, and I believe the guys in the front office are looking for more people to come out and help work the summer. So if you are listening and you are younger, or if you have a son or daughter that would like to get some more experience working in the game, working in baseball, I do believe they are hiring for the summer. It'd be a fantastic opportunity to come out here and learn more about the game from a business standpoint and from an operations standpoint.
There'll be 2 games that day. The 8th. It's going to be the Palm Spring Power against the Bombers, British Columbia Bombers, and then after the afternoon game will be the Alberta Grizzly against the Palm Springs Chill. will happen at both ball games. So come out and network and enjoy some baseball.
This is Devin Fisher, 2-2 count. And the pitch in the dirt. It's going to be a wild pitch to move up Van Weigerden to third. The Chill are down to their last strike. It's a full count to Fisher, coming in to replace Hines.
Come on, Fish.
We'll see if he can extend it here in the 7th. Chill trail by 7. But stranger things have happened. It's 9-2 in favor of the Jacks.
One pitch away from ending this ball game.
As Baldonebro comes set, peek over at third and now deals. This ball is hit foul on the fastball. Should they turn the lineup back over, it would be see a different hitter than Paulius. That would be Tyler Bonsky. A 3-2 as Baldonebro tries to seal the deal here in the 7th. The pitch on the way. 3-2 is up high. It'll be ball 4. So Fisher continues the inning with a walk. And it'll be Tyler Bonsky to hit in place of Paulius. Standout player probably in this game, Andres, probably Michael Bono if I had to pick one. Offensively, though, they've gotten some good production. The Jacks have, that is, from both, well, not both, all three of the top 3 guys in their order, between Jimbalvo, Bloat, and Kazemka. This pitch is hit into center. This might do it. Tripping at first was Killian Bloat. So because he tripped, he was unable to come up and make the play. So it'll be a single for Bonsky. So the inning does continue. A run scores on the RBI single. Score is now 9-3.
A good piece of hitting there again. Bloat got a better step instead of tripping. Who knows what would happen? We might be saying thank you and good night, but the AJ Pollock is 1 for 2 today. AJ Pollock had it walked, struck out, and single came around to score. Stole a base on at second and third.
So AJ Pollock, the hitter, with 2 outs and a 1-0 count, trying to just do whatever he can to extend it. The Chill would like to end on some sort of a positive note. I'd like to say that this game is out of reach at this point. Down by 6 runs here in the top of the 7th and 2 outs, but would give them at least some sort of confidence moving forward should they be able to at least play one more run. So Pollock will await. And here's the pitch from Baldonebro, up high for ball 3. So again, the Chill, with a 3-2 record, they would like to stay above 500, but looks like they will move to 500 should they lose this game. And the Jacks would like to improve to get back towards 500. They're 2-4, so this would snap their losing streak of 3 games should they win this game.
Bono in line for the win, and Juan Martinez, tough outing, just walks this runner. Juan Martinez pulling 7 hits, allowing 3 runs, all of them earned, and only 2 walks. Kudo Kanai giving up 6 runs on 4 hits. None of those runs actually even earned.
We've talked about some of the success that the Lumberjacks have gotten from their pitching staff, and a lot of that success is due to the fact that they haven't really walked anybody in this game. They do walk Pollock there for the 4th walk of the game, so they've kept that number low, which in turn has really helped them propel towards a victory here as Gavin Jones stands in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Remember, Gavin Jones, his average coming into the game, 580, around that area. Dangerous hitter. He's got a lot of RBIs, and he has an opportunity to clear the bases here.
Taking a breaking ball down for a good eye. 1 ball and 1 strikes, 2 outs. 9-3 in favor of the Jacks. Bases are loaded here, though, making it somewhat interesting for the Chill.
Jones can get on, it'll be Vince Garcia in that DH spot.
Taking down low again. So Valdenebro laboring for this final out. 2 balls and a strike to 3-hole hitter.
Valdenebro just reaching 60 pitches here. Usually when they do the changes, but there's no one in either bullpen.
2-1 is just outside, so this inning has been kept alive on only 1 hit. A couple of walks. Van Weigerden also reached on an error. So being able to stay alive without putting too much of a dent in the hit column. Here's the pitch, grounded towards the shortstop. Making the play and going the short way for the out is Sanchez. So he feeds on the 6-4 put out at the force at the bag at second, and that'll do it in this ball game. So the Chill do get a run there in the 7th, but they're cut out of it on the 6-4 put out. So the Lumberjacks will win this game. 9-3 will be the final. They had 11 hits in the ball game. A great start from Michael Bono, who struck out 7 through 3 1/3. Valdenebro came in to relieve him, and he gave a tremendous effort as well, tallying 4 more strikeouts. So in total, 11 strikeouts for the Jacks as a pitching staff as they get it done with just 2 arms. Offensively, great days from the top 3 guys. Nick Jimbalvo with 2 base hits and an RBI. Killian Bloat with 2 base hits. 3 runs scored. Kuzemka with 3 hits in the ballgame. Getting production up and down the lineup as the Lumberjacks were just too much to handle in this game. What stood out for you in this one, Andres, as the Lumberjacks go on for the victory?
Definitely pitching. Pitching's going to win you some ball games. Michael Bono going 3 1/3, 7 strikeouts without allowing a hit or a run, and 2 walks was basically the only downfall he had. And those 2 walks came around the end of his time before Valdenebro came in. What killed the Palm Springs Chill were all the runs. Kudo Kanai could not get the job done, allowing 6 runs. None of them earned, but also errors. 3 errors against the Chill. That's not what you want happening. The Chill, being one of the better teams, just didn't bring it today, and the Lumberjacks took advantage with a 5-run 6th inning, and that's all she wrote.
Alrighty, so the Lumberjacks take game 2 of our doubleheader for today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow for Sunday's matchup in game 1, it'll be the Bombers against the Grizzly in game 1, followed by the Chill and the Power in game 2. That'll do it for us here in the booth. Mitch Glessner alongside Andres Tejeda saying so long from Palm Springs. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks, and we hope to see you back here today at 10 o'clock here Pacific time. So long from Palm Springs.